That being said, I have an amazing, amazing guest that I want to bring on right now. Her name is Chrysalit Vassal. She is a pro at mindset. She has a story that's going to knock your guys' socks off. I honestly, you got to watch this all the way through. So right now, I'm going to bring on Chrysalit, and we're going to really ramp this up. This mindset is really important in being successful with starting your online business. I did not realize this until I went on it head on in 2020, and that's what allowed me to see 5-figure months. All right. So Chrysalit, let's bring you on right now. All right. So we are currently live right now. Chrysalit, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll get the show on the road.
Thank you so much, Jamar. So, hi everyone. It's a pleasure getting the chance to connect with you in a beautiful fashion like this. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see you all live, and I'm not able to see your smiling faces, but I am assuming you're smiling along with me. So, the name is Chrysalit Vassal, and I am the CEO and founder of Inspiring Greatness Inc. I'm also a motivational speaker, mindset, and business coach. I am also Jamaican. So if you recognize, I'm sort of rocking the Jamaican colors, right? I took it even as far as my necklace. I'm representing today, right? So I do have a bit of stuff that I want to speak with you regarding today, and I'm happy to be able to come and share with you to really impact you, because I say all the time, for my own self, I was significantly impacted upon, and it's the reason why I am in the position that I'm in today, and it's the reason why I've been able to grow and continue to grow on a daily basis. And so whenever I have the chance to be able to share with others, I definitely love doing that. Right. So Jamar and I, we connected here online on Facebook, right? And we hit it off. We had a beautiful conversation. He told me about this amazing workshop that he's having. And I said, whoa, this is phenomenal stuff. You know, I absolutely love what you're doing, putting value out there and giving back to others and helping persons on the journey. Because he did explain that his group has a mix of different persons, some who are at that beginning stage, some persons who are there in the middle, and there are some persons who are doing fairly well in the space. Today, whatever we're going to be speaking about, I believe will be able to impact every single person despite the level they're at. Right. And I really want to start by sharing a bit of my story, and hopefully that will be able to give you some amount of inspiration, and then we'll lead into some other stuff, right? So like I shared, I am Jamaican, and if you know about Jamaica, if you've never been to Jamaica, what are you doing?
It's a beautiful place. I've only been there
You need
once,
to be
but it's beautiful.
visiting. It's an absolutely phenomenal country, and we tend to be one of those countries that is on the bucket list for a number of persons. So chances are it is on your bucket list as well, right? And if you do end up coming to Jamaica, you are totally welcomed. Jamaican people, we are a very open and welcoming group of people, right? So yes, I am Jamaican, and Jamaica, unfortunately, is a third world country. That's one of the unfortunate things, right? And so this a state of poverty does linger for a number of persons. Yes, there are different categories of persons like any other country, but it being a third world country, you can only imagine yourself what some of the situations can be like. So growing up, I was unfortunately one of those children who did not come from one of those wealthy families, you know. So I grew up in a sense of lack and scarcity. My parents were quote unquote hustlers, doing just about anything they could to provide for us. But I won't get into all of that part of my story in terms of the younger years. I'll share my turning point, right? And when life really started to make a significant shift for me. So while I was trying to figure out myself, I had my first boyfriend. You know how it is, right? So I had
Oh
my
yeah.
first partner. We fell in love, right? And that resulted in us getting pregnant. So I got pregnant and I was age 21, right? I was age 21 at the time. And so I got pregnant and we had no business. We had no business getting pregnant because neither of us were in the position to take care of a child, right? We
Sure.
were not
Right.
ready for such a thing. And it so happens that after I leave the hospital, and I got home. I got home my mother's house, my parents' house, because I was still living with my parents. Because of course, you know, I'm not able to really go out on my own just yet, right? And so I go back home to my parents' house, and just a few days, it hadn't even been a week, just a few days of having gotten home, my son Romarion, beautiful child, wonderful, wonderful child. This is what all parents will say, right? But
Oh
I
yeah.
got home, and within a few days, I had, and this is quite a story because I didn't know anything about children. I've never been around children. I've never had to really help with raising children or anything. My younger sister, she's 3 years younger than I am. So obviously I was not very involved in that upbringing. Right. And so
Right.
I didn't know much about children. So it turns out that when I went shopping for my son, right, I got 2 packs of Pampers. One was a newborn Pampers, and the other, don't ask me, but I was a total novice. I didn't think that size mattered. Right.
Oh
And
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I bought a pack of Pampers. Let's just say that could fit a toddler that would probably be like 3 years old. Right. It
Oh
was
no.
this bad. Right. And so I bought that pack of Pampers along with a newborn baby's Pampers. Right. So I'm a few
Right.
days out of the hospital, and here we are. Romarian poops out the first pack of baby Pampers, and I am now picking up the next pack of Pampers. Now, this is when I recognize that this thing's size actually matters,
Yeah.
because here we are now, and these things are gigantic. They can't fit anywhere on him. But the unfortunate thing about this is that I didn't have the first penny. I didn't have the first dollar to go and purchase another pack of Pampers, right?
Right.
I literally could not find $1, right? Romarian, of course, he was taking breast, but I was being fed by my parents who were
Yeah.
struggling, right? And so I didn't have any money, right? And so I remember heading out on the outside, and my mother, she had this chicken coop at the back of the house, and I remember going to just sit there, and I cried, I cried for hours, literally hours, and I cried for a number of reasons. I cried because prior to this experience, I was quote unquote the prime child. I was expected to do amazing things. And
Right.
uh, well, I don't know if it was amazing things, but I was expected to do some stuff. I had graduated from my high school as at the top of my class, and I had gotten a national award, and I was just doing fairly well. And so my parents were expecting me to continue on that path. But here I
Right.
am now with a baby and no way to support this child, and not being able to buy this kid something as simple as Pampers,
Did
right?
you
And
did
here I
did
am.
you feel like you disappointed them when that happened? You
Totally,
disappointed your parents?
totally.
Yeah.
I was a disappointment, especially my mother. Especially my
Yeah.
mother. My mother was heartbroken. I remember my mother discovered that I was pregnant. My mother cried. My mother cried her heart out because she knew I couldn't take care of a child,
Right.
and my son's father was definitely not in the position, right? So my mother was very devastated, And
Yeah.
this was like the day with the Pampers experience. This was like the day when I say all the time, this was the worst day of my life. It was the absolute worst day of life because this was a true testament and evidence that I have really been a true disappointment to my mother, to myself, and my newborn child. Right. So
Right.
it was a very, very terrible situation. But this day was also the very best day of my life. And it turned out being the best day of my life because it was on this day that I made a decision. I made a definite decision that I was going to be a multi-millionaire come hell or high waters. Now, while I made this decision, I didn't have the first clue about how I would make this a possibility. I didn't know how I would make this happen, right? But
Right.
I just had this determination that I was going to redeem myself and that I was not going to allow my son to grow up in a state of poverty, that if anything,
Right.
the life he should have was that of abundance. And it was a very solid decision. And it was not one of those, oh, I'm going to do it kind of a thing, right? Maybe
Right.
it was a definite decision. And from that day, I have been on a journey, right? And it has been quite the journey, right? And there's one thing I want you to let you know as well. When you make a decision, it doesn't mean that life is going to just change all of a sudden, right? It
Right.
doesn't happen that way, right? And so after having made the decision, I decided that I was going to go back to university. Right, I was going to go back to university because I was in university before, but my parents didn't have the. That's a whole other story. My parents didn't have the money,
Right.
and I had to drop out of school, and it's a whole story, guys. Right, but I made the decision that I was going to go back to school because at that point, the only way I knew to make money was to have an education, right?
Right.
So that's what we are sold on. That's what we are told, right? And this is what I
Absolutely.
bought, right? So I'm not knocking education in any way. Education is beautiful. It's the reason I am who I am as well, right?
Right.
But I learned that there was more to this puzzle. There was more to it than just getting a degree and it all works out, right? So I ended up going back to school because I made a decision that I was going to do that. Not having the money, right? But decision was made, right? Decision was made. Long and short of it, I hustled my way back into school, and that's a whole nother story. I don't know if we have time for all of this story, but that's a
Yeah.
whole other story in terms of how I was able to do that, right?
Right.
I ended up going back to
You
school.
had your why. You had your why,
I had
right?
it.
You had your
I did,
why,
and it was
and you knew where you were trying to go, and you were willing to do
yeah.
whatever it took to get to that point,
Whatever,
no matter what the
whatever.
obstacle was. And I think that
Yep.
we all face different obstacles at different degrees. But if you don't have your why as to like what your end goal is, then I think people really struggle to accomplish their goals when they don't even really understand why that they're doing what they're doing,
It
right?
right,
Because
right.
especially with entrepreneurship or online marketing or whatever it may be, building your own business, there is nothing easy about that, and it takes it's not an overnight success.
Yeah.
It takes a really, really, really long time to build something that becomes successful. And most people don't get there because they don't ever really figure out why they're even doing it. They just want to be rich, right? They just want to have money, but they're never going to get there if they're not willing to put in the work. But number two, if they don't even understand why they're even doing it. Okay. Because people will fail so many times. And if their why isn't pushing them forward, then they're just going to continue failing, and then they'll end up just quitting because they think it's just not working for them, or it's just not going to work. So
that's 100% very much on point, right? And that's why one of the things that, of course, as a mindset coach, we speak to people about is connecting with why you want something. Why are you going to continue when the challenges keep, they keep piling on, right?
Yeah.
And when you connect with your why in a massive, massive way, it makes it so much easier. It said that when the promise is clear, the price is easy, right? And
Right.
you become unstoppable. You literally become an unstoppable force when you connect in a very, very deep way. When
Yeah.
you connect with why you are doing something. And like you said, the challenge that a lot of persons have is that they don't even spend the time. They
Right.
don't even spend the time to really dig into themselves and to think about what this would really mean for them and what this would do for them. For me,
Yeah.
it's literally impossible. I am obsessed. I have an obsession
Yeah.
with creating a certain lifestyle for my family. When I made that decision, right, and I got into my first business, right, and I started to learn about personal development, right, I made some big mouth promises to my family, right, long before, oh my
Yeah.
God, long before I saw any sign of success. I
Yeah. I
was
was the
singing
same
it,
way.
right? Yep, I was singing it. I was telling every single person in my family that, hey, we are going to be leaving an absolutely phenomenal legacy, and we are going to be multi-millionaires, and we're going to take over, almost all of Jamaica, and we're going to do this. And I was just preaching all sorts of stuff, and a lot of them, trust me,
Yeah.
they laughed at me. I remember my brother, right, my brother and my sister-in-law laughing at me because I had this mansion. Right, I had this mansion on my vision board, and I
Yeah.
remember my brother coming in, him and my sister-in-law, and they were laughing at me, and they were like, "So sis, this is your house, right?" And they laughed, they laughed, and I'm like, "Yes, it's gonna be my house. It's gonna." I felt some kind of way that they were laughing at me,
Yeah.
but
But they also hold you accountable, right?
yes, yes,
They
yes.
also
And the
hold you
beautiful
accountable.
thing is that today, no one laughs. Everyone now wants to join me. Everyone now wants
Exactly.
to do, Chris, show us what you're doing. Even my younger cousins, they want to learn online marketing, right?
Yes.
They want to
Yep.
learn stuff about marketing online and setting up their own business and that kind of thing. They all want to get in on the game because they've seen the type of transitions that have been able to happen in a decent time frame. Right. And
Right.
so it's just absolutely incredible when you feed your mind on something. And that's one of the things that is very, very important. Now, some of you, especially for the persons who are brand spanking new, and you are getting into this thing and you don't have any success yet, and you are hearing about it, but you're not seeing it, or even some persons who've been doing this for a while, right? You've been trying, you've been putting in the effort, you've been sharing content. Hey, you're doing what they say you should do, right?
Right.
And you're just not seeing the results, right? I
Right.
want to tell you that the part you want to probably shift some focus to is your mindset, because your mindset is going to attract to you some absolutely ridiculous kinds of results, right?
Yeah.
And I kid you not, pull away a little bit and go into yourself a bit more, because here's the thing. This law of attraction, a lot of us, we've read about it, we've watched The Secret, we've heard about
Sure.
it being spoken
Yep.
here or there, but a lot of us, unfortunately, don't truly understand it. So we think it's just, yeah, right? And you sit there and you just visualize and the stuff just comes to you, right? All of that
Right.
is powerful. All of that is amazing, right?
Right.
Element of it is that you really have to fix in your mind and allow the thought, right, about what you want to create become a dominating force in your mind.
Yeah.
And your expectations, they must match up with your goals as well. Now, some of you are writing goals, right, that you want to earn X amount of money, but you're expecting that you're going to struggle to pay the bill this month and next month and wherever, right? So if you're expecting one thing and writing the result and writing goals for another thing, it's not matching up, right? So a lot of you have to work on what your expectations are, right? And what are you planning, right? So for me, I'm kind of crazy, right? I'm kind of crazy. I detach from the results, but I'm kind of crazy in that when I set a goal, right? I start planning, you know, how I'm going to be spending, or how I'm going to be driving, or how I'm going to be doing whatever, right? And so I'm
Right.
literally planning it out, right? And I'm planning my month based on the income that I just decided or I just planned that I was going to have. So I stop planning on where I am and I start planning on another level. That's kind of a
Yeah.
crazy kind of thing to do when you don't see this money physically, right? But what
I,
a lot
I
of
did
people
the
don't
same thing.
understand.
I did the
Yeah.
same thing. I started writing things out weekly, monthly, and then every 3 months and every 6 months. When I started to write things down, they began to manifest themselves because I was looking at those goals every single day. You know, I was putting them
Yeah.
up on my whiteboard. Okay, you know, this week I will create, you know, 2 YouTube videos. I will do this. I will do that, and I will make my first $1,000 right this week.
There you
But
go.
I had to start writing it down. Because just saying it wasn't enough. I needed to look at it and visually, just like mentally, and say, yes, I had to literally manifest it into happening, because
Right.
if you don't commit to the process and you don't commit to your
Right.
goal, you're going to fail every single time. And I think writing things down can be very powerful.
Yes. Hey, here's the thing that I say, right? If there are people who are getting results that you want to get, and they have done a particular thing, and they tell you this is what you do, right? One of the
Right.
things that has been recommended very, very strongly is that we write our goals. We take the stuff from our head and we put these things down on paper. And
Yeah.
if the people who are at the level that you want to be at are telling you this because this is what they've done, why are you going to do any differently?
Right.
Right? Why are you going to try and do something differently? Who are you going to follow? Right? Obviously, it should be the people who are having the kinds of results that you want to have, right? Because obviously, what you're doing seemingly is working, right? And goal setting is, there are so many things that are written on goal setting, and it is so strange, right? And that's why Napoleon Hill, he had this audio, uh, The Strangest Secret, right? And he speaks about it, that it's very weird in the sense that even though goal setting is something that is written about or spoken about so strongly, only 1 to 10% of people are doing it,
Yeah.
right? And there's
Yeah.
so much content out there. One of the things that I preach all the time is that knowing how to do something and doing it is a total different thing. A
Right.
lot of people, they know what to do, but they don't do it. And so knowledge is a total different thing from transformation. Transformation is when you're actually taking those actions. So you know when you're being transformed when you see yourself taking the diligent actions that you need to be taking. Because it's a
Yeah.
true fact and reality that a lot of people actually know what to do, right? But they're still failing to do the stuff, right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
was making a point earlier, and I think I want to jump back to it for a little bit because there's some power into that. Yeah. So earlier I was speaking about uh, just starting to plan around the monies and plan around the whatever, right? And I was about to jump into a particular law. And this is something that I want to leave with you today because I don't have a whole lot longer with you. I have a full schedule today, super, super full.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
have, I have 5 other sessions that I have to jump into today, right?
I know you're
But
busy.
yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? When you're
Yeah.
when you're trying to do some stuff, right? But I'm going to leave one major law with you, right? And this is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. If you've never heard this one before, you need to write this down. So that's the perpetual transmutation of energy. When I started studying about universal laws and I came across this one right here, I was just very settled in my knowing and in my and and just in the surety that I was good. I was good.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept behind this law is basically this. Whatever you are thinking about, it has to manifest on physical level. And the reason why it has to manifest on physical level, right, is that energy, right? Energy is going to, of course, energy naturally is going to be flowing to and through you, right? That is naturally going to happen. And things are going to start from the spiritual level first. So your thoughts, right? Your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
like your phone, your cup, your shirt, the earring, the earphone, the flowers, the trees, whatever they are, right? All of this is made of energy. Your
Yep.
thoughts are also made of energy. Your thoughts are energy,
Yes,
right?
powerful.
And very, 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 very powerful, right? And the things that you are thinking, they have to move into a physical manifestation. So it starts at the thought level first. Everything starts at that spiritual level first. So whenever you are having a thought, which is in the spiritual level, right, it will have to manifest in physical form because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It
Or
can
destroyed.
only be
Right.
transformed from one form into the other,
Right.
right? And so this thought that you are having, this thought energy is not destroyed. It's only transformed, right? And it is going to be transformed into a physical manifestation. Now, whatever you are manifesting on the physical level, it goes right back to those thoughts that you're having at the spiritual level, right?
Right.
Regardless of what it is, right? So we literally have the ability to, on the physical level, create any kind of lifestyle. And when I learned that, hey, if I learn to fix my mind upon the desires of my heart, and my mother would always say, God will give you the desires of your heart. God will give you the desires of your heart, right? And when I really started to understand this, truly, truly started to understand this, that the things that I'm thinking are the things that I'm going to manifest, I was
Yeah.
like, So I need to work on what I'm thinking about first. The challenge with a lot of us is that we're looking at the external world. We're looking for
Right.
some help out there. We're looking for something out there to do it for us. You have to go from the inside first.
Right. It
Because
has to
when
start from
you
you.
move to the
Yep.
inside, yes, there you go. When you take it on the inside, you are going to start attracting some absolutely beautiful things to yourself. And the thing about this is that it works in the positive and it works in the negative. So if your thoughts are negative, hey, you are going to be attracting some negative stuff. So
Right.
if it is that you're struggling and your thinking continues to be around struggle, right? If you continue
Right.
to think that I'm not going to be able to make the bank statement, I'm not going to be able to make the client note, I don't know, I'm not sure where I'm going to get this money from, or you see a beautiful house and you think, no, that's out of my price range, I can't afford that, or these are the thoughts that you're having, or you're jumping into your business and you're thinking stuff that are not on the positive end, right? You want to be
Right.
very careful of that, right? What you want to do instead is that you want to start feeding yourself, right, on the things that are not yet there in the physical realm, remembering that whatever you take from the spiritual, it has to manifest in the physical. So
Right.
literally, when I had no food in the fridge, and this is when I'm running my business, right? And I'm there with my big mouth, and I'm talking all sorts of big mouth stuff, right? And there's
Right.
literally no food, right? And I remember this day I went into the fridge and I was so hungry. Oh my God, I was so hungry. And I'm literally grinding my butt off trying to build a business. And I go in there and there's no food, right? I was hoping to find just something. I know there was nothing, but I was hoping, right? So I was
Right.
hoping to find something. And all I see is water. right? All I see is some water. I grabbed that water and I took that water out and I was like, I was cheering like, oh, the champagne is good. I was talking all sorts of crazy stuff, right, to my own self. And I fed myself on myself. And I fed myself on the possibilities. And I fed myself on those things that I was seeing in the spiritual realm. And then somehow, by the magic of this universe, it did its thing. And stuff just started to fall into place. Right, stuff started to fall into place. One of the most noticeable results I saw was that I transitioned my monthly income into a daily income, and then I got online, and then woo, things got even more powerful when I got into the online space. I want to tell you today that whatever it is that you are towards, it happened for you, but you have to learn how to ignore what is happening on the physical level. The physical, right? It is very tricky. It can trick you and it can rob you of all of the amazing things that's there in store for you, right? So you have to become pretty good at ignoring what is happening, because your physical view, what you can see in your physical view, is limited. If I ask you right now to look around you 360, right, you're only going to see so much and no more, right? Does it mean that the other state next to you, or let us not even go so far as the state, right? The other houses down the road don't exist? It doesn't mean that because you're not able to see it right now. It doesn't mean that, right? So your physical view is very limited, and so you have to learn how to tap into that spiritual realm and remind yourself that you are abundant, and you are abundant because the world is abundant, the universe is abundant, and we are created with unlimited potentials, and we literally, through our intellectual faculties, be able to create any life that we desire for ourselves. And that is just absolutely mind-boggling. So when I learning these stuff, I was like, yes, I'm so sure that I'm gonna make it. So what I want to encourage you to do is to spend some time and study, because when you study, and when you study certain stuff, right, it removes fear and replaces it with faith. It replaces it with faith. And when you replace fear with faith, you become a whole different being, right? Whenever people say stuff, it's not going to work, whatever they say, right, it bounces off you, because you have this surety that life has to yield to you what you demand of it, because truly you are the master of your own fate. We all are, and we have the ability to create, and that is just absolutely beautiful. Now, what are you going to create? That's my big question for you. What are you going to create? Right? So I'm looking at my time, because I don't have much longer with you. Right?
Okay, Chrysalit, thank you so much for coming on and giving us some great sharing your story, and also giving us some great nuggets about mindset, because mindset is one of the very first things. If you start out as an entrepreneur, or you're trying to build your own online business, or whatever you're trying to do, if you don't have the proper mindset, you probably won't be successful. It is a huge portion to anybody's success. If you want to, before you jump off, if you want to plug how people can reach you, and then talk about your workshop that you have coming up and the dates on that.
Oh yeah, so I have a workshop coming up, but this is designed for network marketers, right? Not so much affiliate marketers. However, guys, I am looking to work with some affiliate marketers, right? We just opened our affiliate platform, right? And we are expanding significantly. So if you like my energy, right? If I resonate with you, if I feel comfortable, and you want to work with people who feel comfortable for you and to you. So if I feel comfortable to you, right, then we could do some stuff together, right? We can do some work. We can do some work together. You could join our team of affiliate marketers, right? The commissions for our program range from $1,000. So our programs are high ticket. We give you the full training as it relates to how to effectively market online, because we're pretty decent at this as well, right? We're doing okay.
Right.
We're doing okay. We're doing some stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so you could potentially be a part of that. So the commissions, like I said, they range from $1,000 to over $2,000, right? So if this sounds like something that you want to be a part of, then certainly I'm going to leave my info here, and you guys can go ahead and jump on into that. But we are really looking for people who, even if you're starting out, you have the desire, right, to make good money. Right, at least minimum, you should be aiming at least 10K. Right, if you are looking to not make much money, I'm not the person, right? No, we're trying to do stuff. We're trying to work with people who are about it, right? So if you want to get on that level, even if you're not yet there, we can do some stuff together. Right. And like I said, if I feel comfortable to you, then yeah, we can definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So anybody who's watching the end of this video, if you guys are interested in working with Chrysalit, and she's got a program that you can partner with her, and you can earn high ticket commissions by promoting the products, right? The services that she's out there. So you guys can just reach out to Chrysalit via Facebook. You can either message. Is it okay if they message you? If you guys are interested in partnering with her to promote the services that she's got going on, go ahead and connect with her, and she'll fill you in on all the information and how you can be an affiliate for the services that she has. So again, Chrysalit, I want to thank you for coming on. Your words are amazing. I know I got a lot of motivation, and I got some mindset training for myself moving forward the rest of 2021. And is there any departing words that you want to give before we close this out?
Well, really, I want to remind you not to quit. Right? Life can be daunting, right? But you have to show the universe that you are committed. The universe is not going to pass stuff over to you, right? You have to be committed, right? And faith has to be tested. And that's why you are going to experience some rough times, because anyone can be excited and happy and enthusiastic when things are going good. We can all do that, right? But you have to, while things are really bad, you have to prove to yourself, prove to the universe, prove to God that you are committed. That is faith. Yeah. Faith is when you are holding to your belief, even in the midst of the most dreaded storm. And despite whatever happens in 2021 for you, don't quit. Do not quit on yourself. Do not quit on your business, right? Do not quit on your dreams, right? And I believe in you, right? I believe in you. I am a kid who grew up in a broken down house. Trust me, you don't even want to see the state of that house, right? Yeah. Animals coming in through the cracks, rain falling through the roof, right? And we're doing pretty well, and we're doing some decent stuff in the marketplace. And all I did was to increase my value by learning and studying and giving more to people and being genuine about it. Anyone can transition, anyone. And so I know that if you commit yourself, you are truly, truly, truly unstoppable. Yes, I'm literally speaking to you, the person feeling this in the guts and feeling this in your heart, right? Commit yourself, commit thy works, commit yourself, and you cannot be stopped. You will get to the destination that you are aiming at. Thank you so much for allowing me to come and share with you. It was my pleasure being able to be here with all of you.
Thank you, Chrysler. I'd love to have you come back in 6 months from now and do some more mindset training. That was amazing. And I look forward to speaking to you in the future.
Thank you. I'll be back. I'll share some more.
All right. All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Wow. That was like, she's an amazing person. I connected with her months ago, and I was really glad to bring her on because she has an amazing story, right? And I'm going to quickly speak to this. You all, each of you, everybody out here has a story, right? Whether it's, you know, I mean, her story is very powerful. She comes from a third world country and she's able to become successful in her own business, providing value to other people, right? And she's not going to be stopped. She's going to keep going because she believes that what she's doing is right, right? She believes that what she's doing is impacting other people's lives. And when you guys are starting your online business, find that why, right? Have the right mindset and understanding that you guys can literally, with the things that you're learning, you can impact other people's lives, other people's businesses, whatever niche you're in. It doesn't really matter whether you're in the make money online or, you know, fitness and weight loss or whatever it may be. Just understand that you can really impact a lot of other people's lives, no matter where you come from. And if you share your story, people will listen, right? And they'll be inspired by your story and they'll start to take action. And I thought that this would be really important in the first masterclass, that we really talked about mindset, because affiliate marketing is not easy. I specifically talk about affiliate marketing and digital marketing because I'm passionate about it. That's what I love talking about. I think it is really, really a powerful skill to learn, and you can become, you know, wealthy in the affiliate marketing space because these skills are extremely marketable. I mean, you're a lead generation expert, right? You're able to connect people with products and services via a marketing, you know, whatever your marketing method is. And that in itself is a very, very powerful skill to learn. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching again. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. You're not going to want to miss masterclasses 2 through 8. There's going to be tons of content, lots of interviews, and they're designed to help you guys grow your affiliate marketing business. All right. Bye for now.